Hi everyone, welcome back again. Today just wanted to do a very quick video on drive information, the trip information and how to reset it. Not necessarily to describe exactly just how to do it, but I'm having some frustrating times with it. It doesn't do quite what I think it should do, and it doesn't seem to work properly for me all the time. It does do the resets, it does do what it's supposed to do eventually, but not exactly at the time I would expect. So I thought I would share that with you and ask you also, are you getting the same? Now, it's possible I'm doing this wrong, or getting it wrong, or not understanding correctly, but let me explain myself. If we go to Settings, User Settings, and drop down to Other Features, we've got a feature, Energy Consumption. If we press and hold the Select button, it gives us a description of what it's for, and it's the auto reset of the energy consumption. The definition of automatic reset of the energy consumption. Well, that makes sense, doesn't it? It should be rather obvious what it is. And how have I got it set? I've got it set to off. Now, basically, I've played with this and I haven't been able to find a setting that works properly on how I want to. And I'll also confess that some of it doesn't actually make sense. And I'll get to that in a moment. But it's currently set to off. So let's have a look at my energy consumption. Well, surprise, surprise, drive information is all zeros this morning. It's saying 3 minutes on there because I've been playing with the car this morning. So why has it reset overnight when I've got the reset to off? It doesn't make any sense. Now, you'll be saying, well, that's because you can reset drive info and therefore you must have reset it. Well, no, you can't. Drive info, you can't reset. So if I press and hold the select button, as I'm doing right now, let me just show you what I mean. So the select button here, I'm still pressing holding it, nothing is happening whatsoever. So if I select down one level, oops, up to one level, I still don't know where these things are. Accumulated info, you've got at the bottom of the screen. Let's see if I can get my finger in there to show you down here. Hold OK for reset, it's just gone off. So if I press and hold that OK button, the select button, then it would reset those numbers. You can't do that in drive information. So accumulated information, you can reset. Drive information is only resettable by that automatic reset feature. So when I've got it set to off, no automatic reset, why is it resetting? It, to me, feels like a fault. And I've sort of experienced that frustration about, did I do it right? Am I doing it right? In the past, where I've set it to reset after a charge, and it hasn't reset after a charge, and I thought, oh, I must have done it wrong. And I've tried setting it on resetting after ignition. And of course, if you turn the car off and turn it back on, it doesn't do it. So let's have a go, for example. So if we go back to user settings, over here, other features, auxiliary battery energy consumption, there we go. And we want to do it after ignition. So there we go, we'll set it to after ignition. So that's it set. Just go back in to double check that it is set in that way. Yep, it's after ignition. So let's turn the car off. So that's the car off. Now let's just double make sure. Let's open the door. Shut the door. So it really does think we're out of the car. Let's go a step further. Let's lock the car. Now that really should have simulated ignition off, shouldn't it? I mean, we've done enough for it. And I haven't tested this before. I don't know what's going to happen. I am suspecting it's not going to work. So press the ignition button twice without my foot on the brake. That brings everything on without the actual car in drive mode. Settings, other features. Energy consumption. Still set to after ignition. So should that have gone off? There's accumulated information. And it hasn't reset. It's now showing 5 minutes. So why is that? Why is the drive information not resetting on that feature when it should do? It did reset overnight, setting it on to after ignition. Well, I've turned the ignition on and off and it hasn't worked. So I've read the manual quite a while ago, I must confess, and my understanding of what it's describing in the manual and what it's describing on the dash here, to me, just doesn't quite work. Does it for you? So here's another question. This drive information, it is really useful to have an ongoing long-term set of information. So if you want to know what your efficiency is for the entire year, you don't want it to reset. So with the drive information, you can set it off and save that information, and therefore it won't be overwritten. But as I've just discovered, even with it set off, it has reset it. But is it the wrong way around? Should we be able to reset the drive information and only keep accumulated information? Because what's the point here? You've got accumulated information, so that's the one they're expecting you to use to accumulate longer term information. But you can reset it, you could lose it. Drive information is the one that they're not expecting you to use for accumulated information. They're expecting you to use for each driving session, hence those automatic features of resetting. So if that's the one that you're supposed to use for your general trip information, individual trips, why isn't it resettable? It just frustrates the hell out of me that you've got drive information and accumulated information, and because of the way that these auto things work, you're desperate for a third set of information, and of course we haven't quite got it. Anyway, there you go, that's my video for today. That's all I wanted to discuss, a really simple piece of information about why the reset on drive information doesn't seem to quite work for me. Does it for you? Let me know your thoughts. How do you have it set? Does it work for you, and have you seen anything like this? Take care, see you again soon, bye bye for now.